Hey YouTube tech lovers, Jim Tech Lovin. I'm just running 3D Mark. What the heck's this one called? I can't remember. Anyway, this is Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. This is an RTX 4060 Ti. So 16 gig only uses 8 PCI Express lanes. 1080p is what I'm running in. We're getting what, 60 FPS, 1080p, 32 gig of RAM. It's in a SAMA 205. I'm going to show you some cases today that I have built with. Cases that I have on the floor that I do build with, and ones I really like. So the GPU clock runs at 2745, the memory clock at 2250. I don't know if the double data rate on that or whatever on the memory clock, according to GPU Z anyway. That's this system. So that's this one right here. And I might as well talk about the case right now. So this is a SAMA. This replaced the 205A. I used to use those. This is called a SAMA Truong SA. Truong SA. I really enjoyed building in this case. It was really nice to build in. And you can tell it's AMD because you can cool it with air. Unlike Intel, which you can't cool it with air. And this has no issues with cooling. Runs at 4450 under 100% load, 4.45 gigahertz. And I'll show you a little bit of this case here. Hope you don't mind moving around. And then I've got just got GPU Z running over here. I have to admit, temperatures are pretty decent. What are we at? Oh, the hotspot is, what's the hotspot? Yeah, it's about 10 degrees. GPU is at 67. It's been running for a while. And I just have it looping, so it's just looping right now. With this case, yeah, I don't know what to say. Oh yeah, this has a, also, I don't know if you can see that way down there. It's a fractal design. Platinum power supply. The first time I've ever used a platinum power supply, 850 watts. So, no issues with that. So one thing I really like about this case is that this just, and I don't want to completely, I'm going to put you down here for a sec. Just because I don't want to screw it up. And I'll lift you up a bit there. Okay, so there's no screws on the glasses, you can see that, and it just really nicely just pops off like this, which I really like, and it's got little clips down in the bottom here. Not clips, but and you just push it back on. So I really like that. That's a nice feature about that case. So it's a pretty impressive case. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's not that expensive. Comes with the RGB, although I've replaced the rear fan and put a higher quality fan. So it comes with the RGB fans. But nice case. I was pretty impressed with this case. And over on the other side, once again, we are running same benchmark. Why can't I remember the name of this benchmark? Anyway, it's also looping. So this is a 4070 Ti. 2775 on the GPU clock, 1312 on the memory clock. GPU, it's been running for a while. Also GPU temperature of 71.9, 72, hotspot of 82 in a bit. Let's go back over here. 67 and 79, 27 and 22 on the 4060 Ti. I keep calling it 3060 Ti because it kind of has the performance of a 3060 Ti. And a little bit of glare. 2775, 1312. And there's a look at the roof. Here, let me just put you down for a sec here. Lower that down. Lower it down a little more. There we go. So we're getting what, 104 FPS? Same settings on both sides. Same settings, same game settings. So this one's getting 56 FPS on the 4060 Ti, and the 4070 is getting 110 FPS. This one's on loop 5, that one's on loop 6. So exactly the same, on exactly the same settings. Nice. I'll show you some other things here too. What started out as a hobby has turned into a monster. But I enjoy doing it. Very much so. So I'll show you some other cases. After I take a puff of my smoker. So let's move away from here. What's our voltage on here anyway? It is... How many watts are we drawing? 253 watts. And over here, we are drawing 163 watts. GPU chip power draw 124 watts. So a little less wattage on the 4060. I need a better monitor over here. Chip power draw here is 212, 208 watts. All right, so this is the SAMA 205A case right there. So this was replaced by the case I just showed you, which is the Luvn case. This one here. So I like the Luvn better, but the another inexpensive case, or not ridiculously priced, the SAMA 205A, really nice. I like some of the SAMA products. I've used their AIOs. They're good. They're really good. It's like air coolers. I mean, I have Noctua air coolers here. This is a Thermalright Peerless Assassin. Totally impressed by the Peerless Assassin. It's a great air cooler. Really is. And it's a little bit smaller. As you can see, you can even get your hand in there to get your 8-pin in up at the top on the motherboard. It's a little bit smaller than the Noctua NHD15, which I have in one of these builds on the floor. Yeah, so this is, that's the SAMA case. That's a pretty impressive case also. Pretty nice. And I have the plastic covers on them most of the time. I've just taken them off for this video. This is let's just look and see what it is. Oh yeah, this is the Skytech gaming case. I quite liked it also. I was pretty impressed with it. It's a nice looking case, a little bit wider and taller than the SAMA case. As is the case with the Luvn that took over for the 205A. It's a little bit wider. I would say even wider than this Skytech gaming case. A little bit wider and a little taller, so it gives you a little more room. You're kind of limited because with this, let me move back a bit. With this case, I was going to put in a 7900 XTX in this one, and this is a 13700, and it wouldn't fit. So I am going to replace the cooler in this. I believe I have I know it's really hard to see because of this and the lack of light. Hang on. Oh, it's getting crowded in here, unfortunately. What's in here? Yes, this has the Noctua cooler. I know it's really hard to see because I'm getting reflection, but yeah, I'm actually going to I'm putting in an AIO in the 13700. I think I have a mounting issue here with the Noctua. It gets pretty warm. I've had to lower the power limit. So I've either got a mounting issue because it is a socket 1700, but I'm sure I used the socket 1700 adapter, but I can't quite remember. Yes, and this is 12600K in here. What's the graphics card? 32 gig. It's got a 3090 in it. So these all are slightly over the $2,000 level. Some less than 2,000. There's two. We'll go back over here. This is a 12700K. It's in the SAMA 205A, so the same case as this one over here, except this one is the black case. So 12700, DDR5 5600. All the RAM is tuned, so I manually tune all the RAM. I get much better performance out of it. This one has a 3080, the 10 gig. B760 gaming. Corsair Dominator memory. This has a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black and a 500 gig silicone power. I almost don't even use SSDs anymore. I strictly use NVMe's, and I put one or two in most builds. Sometimes I only put one. And probably one of my favorite cases is, this is also a SAMA. This is the Q10. I call it a wide body because it is. It's great. Great to build in. This is a 5800X. I think with a 3090 or 3080, I can't remember. I don't have a tag on this one. I just know it because it's the wide body. Wonderful case to build in. Really is wonderful. Glass on the, I know it's hard to see, but there's glass on the front, glass on the side. Just put it down here for a sec. This is running a Noctua, but all kinds of room for the Noctua, which is nice. I'm not sure what you are seeing. It's hard for me to see the screen. Yeah, it's either a 3080 Ti. It might be a 3080 Ti in this one. 32 gig of RAM. You can see the fan. I don't know if you can see the fans up on the side over here at the back. That's where I have the exhaust fans, and I have fans on the bottom. This is a beautiful. I have two fans on the bottom, intake fans, exhaust fan at the back, and exhaust fan over on the sides. Then you've got the cooler. I don't think I have. I have two fans at the top too, and they are. I'm just going to look and see what they are here. Whether they're intake or exhaust. They are intake fans at the top. This is a beautiful PC. I mean, it's a lot of bling anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's fast. It's really fast, but it's blingy, very blingy. Lots of blingy. And we'll talk about fans too. A little bit about fans. These are great fans. The Lian Li. That's this. I have to put these in something, but these are the Lian Li. The ones that just snap together. The Unifans. So I don't know why I have them in a box out here. I was going to put them in something, and I guess I changed my mind on that. Put them there. So anyway, this is the Q10 from. No, I'm sorry, it's DIY PC. My bad. This is DIY PC. So totally impressed with this case. Wonderful to build in. Knock to a tower cooler and all kinds of room to put the 8-pin in. Most of them, you know, if you're using a tower cooler, if you're not using an AIO and you're using a tower cooler, you have to put the 8-pin in kind of before you put the motherboard in. You have to attach it to the motherboard because there's no way you can get your hand back there. But all kinds of room in this case. It's just a great case for airflow. So that's the DIY PC Q10. And this was not expensive. This was like $100 Canadian, and they had a special, they had a deal on where I think it was 80 bucks Canadian. So that was a good deal. And I think it came with 4 fans. Came with the rear exhaust fans and 3 in the front, or the 3 side fans, I can't remember. Excuse me. Yeah. Of course, I'm in my basement, right? So I call this the dungeon. I mean, I've got the hot water heater, I've got the furnace, I've got it all going. I did have to replace the hot water heater because it was leaking a bit. So last thing I need is it to leak on my electronics. So there's our loop still going on that side, and our loop still going on this side. Let's check our temps. Oh, so we've got 67 and 81 on the hotspot. Oh, the mom is home. And this one we've got 73 and 85 on the hotspot. Okay, another DIY PC case. Oh, and this is one I'm working on. This is an 11600K. I just use a little stock here cooler. It's not even attached. It just has a. That thing's old. I mean, look, I've got glue around the sides, hot glue, holding the fan on. When I build them on the bench, this is how I do it. They're on the bench. This is how I set them up. It's way easier, right? I don't have to put on the cooler or anything, and that thing's got a big giant copper heatsink on the bottom. So that I'm building for a friend. I haven't got there yet. Here, I'll put you down again. You can look at the wall. This is a 4070 12 gig. Going in something, I offer options now with my PCs, with my builds. For graphics cards, depends on what you want to put in. This is nice. This is the other DIY PC. I haven't built in it yet, but this is the Q01 BK, which I assume means black. It's another wide body case, similar to the Q10. Slightly different, larger fans, 140mm fans as opposed to 120s. So I haven't built in this case yet, but plan on building in it soon. Just haven't got there yet. And let me see, I'll just put you down again here for a sec and watch the show. I got the sniffles and everything. It sucks, really. I'm just going to put my covers back on. I haven't done a video in a while because I've been building stuff. Put this together here. Finding covers for these wide bodies is sometimes difficult, so they don't I'll lose the one that came with it. There. Keeps the PCs from getting dusty though. So in one of these, the 3070, I do have to take out the graphics card. It's got the 3080 Ti. Yeah, 3080 Ti. In the 13700, I'm sorry. Because it runs a little hot, so I'm going to repaste it. I'll do a video on that where I take it apart and repaste it and check the thermal pads. Hopefully I have them here. The proper thickness of thermal pad. Oh, that was the furnace you just heard that kicked on because it's still kind of wintry cold here. It's not cold, but the furnace still kicks on. Okay, lastly, I'll show you what this is running on. So this is my sleeper right there. Thermal tacky case. I call it a sleeper because this is a 7900 XT. And once again, the 4070 Ti, 32 gig RAM, AIO. But these 79, so it's not the, oh sorry, this is a 7900 X3D. So this thing is a monster. So this is a sleeper. It's got very limited RGB. AIO in the front. So it's not the most beautiful case in the world. It doesn't even have the RGB in the front. Here, I'll turn you right sideways so you can see it. No RGB in the front. So yeah, 2 fans in the top, 2 intakes in the top. But yeah, not, but it is a monster. It runs really, and I haven't tuned it at all. I haven't tuned the RAM. I haven't really tuned the CPU at all. So when I tune the CPU, I'll do the EDC, TDC, and the power limit, and a few other things in BIOS to try and get maximum performance out of it. But tuning the RAM, that really helps to get maximum performance. So right now it's just running XMP. And DDR5 6000. So under an XMP, and of course typical Ryzen, it gets, the latency is absolutely ridiculous at like 79 milliseconds, I think, before tuning. So I just tuned a friend's 7800 X3D. He's almost 50 gigabytes per second, or sorry, almost 60 gigabytes per second on his RAM speed. Yes. And his latency is like 69 after tuning. So quite impressive. So I still have to do this one. A lot of people have complaining about slow boots on the AM5, and they are slow to boot. But there's a couple of changes you can make. Memory context restore, enable that. Enable power down mode, and then enable fast boot. If you just enable fast boot, you're probably not going to see any difference whatsoever. So there's those 3 settings in BIOS that you have to change in order to get a relatively fast boot. They still don't boot as fast as AM4, but they do boot a lot quicker. If you're tuning the RAM, you have to turn those off because you want to train every single time when you're tuning RAM. But anyway, I think I'll take you for a little walk here and see what I have. See what this monster is turned into. So I also have these, well, I'll show you these over here. These little tiny PCs. These things are great. They're, yeah, I know it's a mess. No commenting on the mess. It is what it is. I know where everything is. So these are, let's see what they are. I think they're i5s. Yeah. And yes, I have these on every one because it's the only way I can figure out what's in them. So this is a 7500T. This one's got 8 gig of DDR4, although sometimes I put 16 gig, 240. They have an NVMe. You can put a hard drive or an SSD. Running Windows 10 Pro. They have HDMI by 1, DisplayPort by 2, Ethernet, wireless, USB 3.0, 2.0, 65 watt power brick, and these are all configured with 16. Okay, we'll do it with, so this one with 8 gig of RAM, it's about $200. That's it. Configured as it is the way it is right now. So 16 gig of RAM, an NVMe, and an SSD. So the NVMe holds the operating system, and the hard drive or the SSD. So if you added an SSD, they would be about 250, 275, and they are lightning. These are fantastic. I put one by the TV and stream to the TV and kind of cut the cord. And I use, well, I'll show you this one too. Hang on a sec. Let's put this one away. Give you a look back there again. Take a look at the furnace. Good furnace, by the way. Just got it. And so I use these. So wireless keyboard and mouse. You put that up by your TV, it's a little bit bigger than your remote. These tiny PCs are about the size of a mouse pad, probably smaller than a mouse pad. Let's see if I can lift this one up without knocking everything down here. So, yeah, this is the same 7500T, but and there's the wireless in the back, just a wireless dongle. This one is wrapped, so this one is finished. This is car wrap that's on this. That stuff, I tried it once and it is just fabulous stuff. My God. No painting. You gotta make sure that there's nothing underneath it. Like I can't feel anything here, and it's not a bumble, but it's a speck of dirt. And you even get a little speck under there, and that is the way it shows up. It's just ridiculous. That's the only bad part about it, but it's wonderful stuff to use. And I just cut it with a blade, with a little razor blade is all I use. Whoops, to cut it with, right here. And it cuts really nicely. Anyway, it's a joy to use. It's car wrap, so, and that's all it is. Before I was using, I was using different car wrap, and it would be, let's see, is it up here? Really hard to see. Yeah, it was, let's see if we can see this. Hard to see, but here, I'll take a piece down. I was using this. It's kind of, it's like a carbon fiber car wrap. It is really nice. And I need to get some more of it because I really like it. But now, I have, way over in the corner over there, I'm going to grab it, point you back in that direction. Yeah, I have to be very careful when I'm walking around here. Let's pull this out. Make sure I don't fall. Ugh. Yeah, this is getting difficult, to say the least. Oh, this is the black stuff I got. So this is just the plain black stuff. That's what that one is wrapped with. But that's not the one I wanted to show you. I'm going to put you down. And then I'll go and grab it because it's easier. Otherwise I'm going to wipe out. Don't really feel like wiping out. Fuck off. Sorry. Bad language. We just know where to walk. think I'm becoming a hoarder. Okay, it's this stuff. This is like a phase changing. Like right now it's, depending on what light it's in, it changes color. It's the same thing, car wrap, so it's pretty cool. It's by 3M. But it has, I don't know, it has some sort of synergistic relationship with metal. Yeah, I don't know what that relationship is, but sorry. I guess when I walk away, I'm not even sure if you can hear me, but I don't know what that relationship is with metal, but it just binds to metal. And it's not really sticky. You can, the best part about it is you can put it on, and if you're off a bit, you just peel it off. But once again, you've got to watch about any imperfections on the metal, so I clean it with alcohol first. And I always tend to get something on it. I don't know where. Maybe it comes out of the air. Who knows? Let's take it for a walk around here. So yeah, you can see I haven't got a lot of room to hop over things. So these are all my all the boxes, and I try and get people to take them. I don't know why people don't want to take their boxes. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, so now I've gotten to the point where I just put the boxes in with the case boxes. Do it that way. I just picked up that monitor right there. So it's a 265 hertz. I don't know how you say that, but monitor. I haven't tested it yet. I just picked it up. I haven't built with that one yet. That's going to be a 3900X, I think, the Crosshair 8 Hero. Leon Lee power supplies, EVGA. These are my power supplies down here as I'm running a little bit low. Keyboards. Up there is all of my mice. Whoop, I'm sorry. Sorry, not mice, fans. Gaming mice. All the little stuff you need. Fan hubs, adapters, yeah, wireless cards, RGB hubs, my coolers. That's an NH-U9S. I've got some Noctua coolers in that box. Sorry, I know it's hard to see. I'm an enthusiast, so I also have some older motherboards that I like to play with, which is pretty cool. And then when I'm done with them, I sell them. I've got CPUs in here. I've got NVMe heatsinks, SSDs in there. Of course, you know, back plates, because you never know when you're short on back plates. And I/O plates. And out of all, I've never found any motherboard that any of these I/O plates fit in. Or that work in. I don't know. Vertical GPU mounts, I've got a few of those. Monitors over here, brand new monitors, a couple of those. Yeah, I have a Cooler Master C700M case upstairs. It's kind of a vanity case, beautiful case. All liquid cooled GPU and CPU on the loop. This is the original fans for the graphics card. Yeah, it's a 3900X, 12 cores, 24 threads, 3080 in that one. It runs like, it's a monster. Okay, so my AIOs. Motherboards, well, here's an old motherboard right there, an M2N32.SLI. Yeah, you put an SSD in these things, and it's incredible how fast they are again. My graphics cards, I have a 1080 Ti, and I just bought that because I had like 3 or 4 of them, and I sold them all, and I really love the 1080 Ti. What have I got? I got 3080s, I got 3090s, I got 3070 Ti's. I got a 2080 Ti, very nice card. And then your budget 1660 Super is down there somewhere, or a 1660 Ti. And then over here, sorry, I'm trying to give you the best picture I can here. Yeah, I have some ITX motherboards. There's the Sama cooler at the top. That's the T240. Really good coolers. Yeah, I have a couple of ITX boards here. Z590 and a... Oh, they're both Z590s. Oh, no, sorry. Z690 and a Z590. That's a 690, not a 590. And I haven't built with those yet, but I plan on it. I have the CPUs and everything for them. So let's, take you out of here. Yeah. And I bought this beautiful, well, you can see part of it, this beautiful curved monitor. There's another monitor in front of it. And when I went to test it, it actually fell down and fell forward onto something I had on the bench. And although the screen's not cracked, the inside screen is damaged. So yeah, it was 300 and some bucks just wasted on my stupidity, because I didn't have it secured properly. It was just a bad idea. So I guess based on stuff, there's the Peerless Assassin right here. I haven't seen the Frost Spirit again, the Thermalright Frost Spirit, but that's a very good cooler also. Oh, I got to show you this cooler. So I'll give you some of my recommendations. I think the 30 series cards are fantastic. And when it comes to the 40 series, you know, once you get below the 4090 and the 4080, you know, and that 3070 Ti and that one's not too bad, but 4070. But the 4060 is, it's just a piece of garbage. This is a beautiful cooler. This is a, I believe it's a deep cool. Yeah. Yeah, this was on the 13700K, and I removed it. And I'll use it for something else, but that's what that was on. So, yeah, so this is, my house is like 120 years old. And yeah, this is what the walls look like. That's the way they were built. Just stacked rock with concrete. And I think this has been reparched. And you know, the beams, this is what we have. Now, this house is about 2.5 times the size of the basement, which is weird. But so the house extends beyond that insulation there. There's a little crawl space going under the living room in the second half of the house, because there's 2 sets of stairs. There's a set of stairs at the front by the front door, and then there's a set of stairs for the servants, which I don't have, in the back. And so this house was shipped across Canada on the train in the late 1800s and shipped to Manitoba and then erected when it got here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and it's a good house. It's been a really good house. You know, we've got some rooms that have electric heat. Like at the back of the house, there's electric. Other than that, it's forced air. We haven't got central air, but we just buy those small air conditioners. We air condition our living room, our bedroom. Oh, in the back where my son is. So he's got his own apartment at the back, which is the back steps. He goes up, and he's got his own living room, and we share the bathroom. And we have a bathroom upstairs and downstairs. So anyway, some of my recommendations. If you want to build anything. Sama cases. I really like the Sama cases. There's a lot of really nice cases out there. And some of them are just cheap. But Sama, they're not cheap, which is what I like. And surprisingly enough, that Gamer Storm case that I showed you, the white one, I like that case too. That's a nice case. DIY PC, the wide bodies, excellent cases. Really impressed with those. Sama AIOs, very impressed with those. Price performance, really good. Anything AMD, if you're gonna build something new, AMD, you're gonna be able to air cool it. Intel, you're not gonna be able to air cool it. I build Intel and AMD, they're both very good. But I can just tell you, you're not going to be able to air cool an Intel CPU. Just not going to happen. And I like air cooling. The Sama air coolers are really, really good. Or did I say Sama? Yeah. No, the Thermalright air coolers are really, really good. The Peerless Assassin. And there's a Hardware Canucks did a roundup of all the air coolers. They're really good. He's really good. I really like Hardware Canucks. They do a great job. So he tested maybe 30, 40 air coolers. And so don't go by my word. Watch that. If you, that kind of Noctua is kind of the standard. But it's being rivaled now by some much less expensive air coolers. Motherboards are built with them all. MSI, Asus, Gigabyte. Do I have a preference? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it. I like the Asus motherboards. I guess that might be my preference. But it's hard to say. I like Gigabyte too. I like them all. They all have their little quirks. Power supplies just Sama has a power supply. I just put 1,000 watt power supply in a Sama, in a build, and it was excellent. It was all white. It was an all white build, so it was a 1,000 watt white, 80 plus gold, and it comes with these white bags for your extra cables if you want to keep it in there, and it came with the with this also. I mean, a beautiful white power supply cord. It was nice touches. So that was pretty impressive. Leon Lee, their 80 plus gold supplies, even the ITX ones. I have some ITX ones, and I buy the adapter for them to make so that they fit in an ATX. And this one right here has an adapter on the face that I've installed. So yeah, I have about 3 of those. I've got a 1,300 watt power supply that I bought a year ago and still haven't used it yet. Just I'm waiting for the right build to put it in, and I haven't found anything because, unless you're using a 4090 and a 14th gen, I really don't think you need a 1,000 watt power supply. I build with 850s. 750s, some of the lower end stuff. I've built with 550 watt power supplies without issue. So, a lot of these power supplies, 1,000 watts for some of the Ryzen stuff, you just don't need it. You just don't need it. It's just like 11th gen, even 12th for that matter. You don't need 1,000 watt power supplies with a 3080 or a 3070 Ti, even a 3090. I have 3090s running on 750 watt power supplies. So 1,000 watts a little bit overkill. Don't think you need to go there.
The 30 series cards, I love the quality of the cards and how well built they are compared to the 40 series. Other than the 4090, I'm going to leave the 4090 out of this. I have a 7900 XTX. That is a monster of a card. And for the price, it competes against the 4080 Ti. Nothing competes with the 4090 or ever will in my mind, but the 7900 XTX competes with the 4080 Ti. And in most cases, I'm not going to say most, in some cases outperforms the 4080 Ti in some games. So I really like it. And it's less expensive. Talked about motherboards. Fans, buy quality fans. Don't buy cheap fans. Cheap fans are cheap fans. They're just not very good. So if you're on a 13th, 14th gen, you want quality fans for that thing. You don't want these cheap fans that you got 3 ARGB fans for $30. You know, it's just garbage. Because that's what you get. You get garbage. Did you buy a motherboard that has wireless and you're not quite impressed with it? Buy these. They're like 25 or $30. They have magnetic base. They're just really nice. I bought a couple of them. They are from, they even come with instructions. They're from 8wood, and it's a Wi-Fi antenna. So I had a couple of boards that didn't have the antennas. So these are from 8wood. It's called 8wood. So they are really good. Very impressed with those. I'll leave you here for a sec because I'm going to grab a couple of those quality fans I was talking about. I'll grab them both. I'm back. So, I have 2 of these fans left. So these are called Servo Gentle Typhoons. I have 2. These are old fans. They're 3-pin, which is fine, right? It just runs on, just runs on voltage, the fans. But these, weight-wise, these move air. They are the best fans. I use these in my high-end systems where I want to move some air. I don't care that they have, the salt and pepper. But they're really nice fans, really nice fans. And then you get, you go down to, this is what you get today, pretty nice, eh? It's got that, it's got the RGB on both sides. But not the highest of quality, unfortunately. Turn it around that way. Not the highest of quality. They just don't move a lot of air. It's like, is this thing turning? Yeah, it's turning. It's not moving a lot of air. And then kind of middle of the road stuff where we got some Corsair, I think these are. I think these were on an AIO. A white AIO. So they're kind of middle of the road for weight. And, back in the day, we used to judge electronics by their weight. And that makes sense. The components are pretty good. It's like power supplies. I mean, just grab a cheap power supply and see how heavy it is. And you'll see they're light as a feather. They're junk. And it's the same thing that goes for fans. But yeah, I've held on to these servos for a while. Gentle Typhoons. If you ever come across them, buy them. Because sometimes, you know, it's just about air movement, not about bling. Bling is nice, but it does nothing for performance. Well, other than degrade it. Especially when it comes to fans. So, you know, my advice, buy quality fans. Yeah, so as you can see, I have lots of stuff. It's just crazy. So this has been running for a while. Quite a while during this whole video. So what are we at? God, that screen's hard to see. I should put my glasses on. Maybe that'll be better. Yeah, so 74 and 86. 86 on the hotspot, 74.7. 75. 2760, 1312. 104 FPS. 31 loops. Over here, oops, we've gone to, we're also at 31 loops. 66 FPS. 2730, 2250, 68 and 82. So that's on the 4060 Ti. And this one was the 4070 Ti. So let's close this. Escape. Shouldn't get a result because running custom. You don't get a result for custom. Let's just do a center bench run. Yeah. Turn you a little bit. So I have done the fan curves on this. So I have set up the fan curves. So what are we getting? 28,000? Yeah. My last run was 27,000. 28,187. Set bench R23. I'm just going to show you the clocks here. I'm just going to close GPU-Z. And I'll show you how the 7900 X3D works its magic on the clocks. Just to censor this hardware info. Free, great program. Where did it open? Way the heck over on this screen. Okay, we'll bring it up to the center here. Expand it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's just set this to 10 minutes, test throttling. And I'll do single core. What I find is it kind of shows you how the cores work on the 7900 X3D because there's two CCDs. One that just has So you will see, I'll just put you over this way, so it's running single core. So what you're going to see over here is that the boost is all going to be from cores 6 to 12. You're not going to see any boost in the upper ones. It's all going to be in the bottom. It was showing this better in another program I was using. I can't remember. Yeah, see, it's almost 43. Should be core 6 is the strongest core on here. It should get up to 4 almost 5 gig. There's 4772. As you can see, it's all in the bottom cores. Let me just make that a little smaller. Yeah, you can see we get up to 5.6 gigahertz, and that's core 7, so that's one of the best cores there too. I have programs that tell me what the best cores are. So you can see it up to 5.6, whereas the CCD1, where the 3D Vcache resides, it kind of just stays at 49. It doesn't use, so on a single core workload, now we have 2 cores that went up to 46, kind of switch between cores 6 and 7 for, I'm sorry about the shakiness, for 5.6 gigahertz. I just wasn't sure if you could see it from here. I guess you can. And it's single core. So the second CCD is, you know, because this is a gaming CPU and a productivity CPU. So it doesn't, and there will be biased updates that will come out to address the games using the wrong CCD and not using the CCD with the 3D Vcache on it, instead using the other one. So you're going to lose a little performance that way. So I think there's a couple of fixes out there in the wild. I can't remember, but I believe there are. So if we go to the all-core again, I'll go to the all-core and Cinebench here. My mouse doesn't like the table. I'll have to move you forward a bit. Well, that's better anyway. So I'm gonna go over here and stop this single core and go with the all core. So under the all core, you can see the CCD1 is starting to kick in. So we're getting 4.9 gigahertz, 5.1 on the all core in CCD1. It's going to boost higher than the first CCD. As you can see, our core voltage 1.031, 1.024. And look at our temperatures, 75, 77. If this was Intel, we'd already be over 100. And this is it's on an AIO. And you should use AIOs on the 7800X3D, 7900X3D. So here's what I adjust down here, the TDC, the EDC, and the package power are the 3 adjustments I would make in the BIOS. Along with, I don't touch my primaries a lot of times. I leave the primaries alone, but this TRFC at 884 is ridiculous. TRAS at 80 is ridiculous. That could easily be 28. So anyway, I'm going to start adjusting this soon. And maybe I'll do another video and walk you through that. But I will walk you through the 3080 Ti when I do a teardown on it. and replace the pads and new thermal paste because it's running too hot. So I think that is kind of all I wanted to show you. You see and it goes down because it's not doing anything. That's when it's finished a render and it's starting a new render. So we're pretty real stable. I wish I could get that to 5. I doubt that I'm going to though. With single core, it's supposed to boost up to 5.6, which it does. And see the brighter orange is kind of where we're sitting. Right there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's almost April. It's almost spring. If you're interested in a tiny PC, you can text me, or you can you can email me at techluvn, TECHLUVN. Oh, I'm gonna put it up on the screen because I have it written down somewhere. Where did I write that? Ah, right here. So everything on Techluvn is low tech when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. Because I use my iPad. Although I did buy this neat stand that I used when I carry it around. It's not as jittery as my hand, but yeah, it's right. Oh, there, Techluvn, techluvn599@gmail.com. So if you're interested in one of those, I can ship one to you. Just tell me how you want it configured with 16 gig or 8 gig RAM. They work fine with 8 gig, by the way. But if you want 16 gig, we can do that too. And I'll shoot you back a price. With it won't cost much to ship because they're not very expensive to ship. I can put them in a Canada Post shipping box, which is really nice to be able to do that, and the power supply and everything. And whether you want the keyboard or not, or you want to use your own wireless keyboard and mouse, you can do that too. And I can ship one to you. And whether you want it wrapped or not, because if you don't want it wrapped, I won't wrap it. But I probably will anyway because I have the extra wrap. And if you're just looking for something for a young person, for one of your kids for school, I have these that I refurbish. They're Lenovo's and Dell's, I believe. So I refurbish them with an SSD. An SSD, a hard drive. They're not gaming machines. Most of them do have a CD also, or a DVD-ROM. And they're in and around the same price. Windows 10 Pro on most of them, or you can have Windows 11. That's not an issue either. So Windows 10 Pro is installed on them. Licensed copies, same with the tiny PCs, licensed copies. They're fast. With an SSD, they come with, most of those are DDR3 RAM, so they'll come with 8 or 16 gig of RAM. Probably do those a little cheaper, maybe 175, 150 to 175, because I've got the cost of the SSD and the hard drive that I have to put in. They are, oh God, I can't remember which gen now. I think they're, anyway, they're 4th or 5th gen. Maybe later than that. They're not a year earlier than that. They have as do the tiny PCs. They have LibreOffice installed, so that's a Microsoft Office clone. You can save as doc files. I've been using it for years. I love it. So it's got Excel clone, a PowerPoint clone. They call it presentations. I can't remember what they call the other one. It's on this PC that you're looking at right now. is LibreOffice. So it's great for school. I have a few things on here. I'm just gonna look, see what I got. Hang on. 3D Mark Cinebench, Corona. Maybe I haven't installed anything on here. I do have. Maybe I don't even have LibreOffice on here. I just did this, so I'm not sure that I've installed anything yet. But they are great programs, and it's all open source software, and there's no problem with open source software, contrary to what you may have heard. There is no malicious code in open source software because anybody can add code to LibreOffice or whatever the case may be, but that code is scrutinized by other coders to make sure there's nothing malicious in there. I think, where's my mouse? Right here. I think I have most of this stuff. Let's see what I got on here. Maximum. Maximum is a great program if you want to test your memory. Yeah, it's downloadable, it's free. GPU-Z, of course, you want all that stuff. MSI Afterburner I don't use to increase core clocks or memory. I use it for the fans more than anything else. Heaven Benchmark, good benchmark to use. Test your system. Revo Uninstaller, great program to uninstall. Instead of using the Windows uninstaller, you use this Revo Uninstaller. It's quite good. Speccy, gives you the specs of your rig. CPU-Z, these are all free, by the way. CCleaner, great to clean your registry. Testman 5, Zen Timings, if you're on a Zen AM4, AM5. Zen Timings will show you the timings. And that's what that looks like. So I use it when I'm tuning RAM. I use Zen Timings. Let me just close this. Yeah, so we stopped our render on here. Yeah, what else we got? And this is LibreOffice here. I'll just open it. Close my Zen timings, maximize this. Yes, so you have Writer, Calc spreadsheet, Impress presentations, Draw drawing, Math formula, and Base database. It's a Microsoft Office clone. It works great. Oh, I don't have my drive in there. Oh, I think I had it open. Did I have it open? No. Just going to open a file here, just so I can show you. If I have one on here, I don't see one. There we go. Yeah. So this is LibreOffice Writer. You can see that up in the top. So this is saved as a doc file. So it's soldbuilds.doc. You can see that up top. So my builds and all the specs. There's I'm just hitting the page down key here. This is, oh my God, that's pretty long. So this would be the last one I sold, the 5800X3D. Corsair 4000D. Cool. So that's what that looks like. Anyway, back here, everything's good there. Yeah. Put you back on this desktop here. There we go. Oh, damn thing gets heavy on the hand. So I'm pretty impressed with these. This is the first 7900 X3D I've had. I'm pretty impressed with it. It is a monster for sure. So anyway, like I said, yeah, I can set up one of these. So if you got a child in school, all the software on these PCs behind me that I refurbish it's all open source software. So it's great software. It's they're kind of set up for schooling. They don't take up a lot of room. They come with a power cord. They don't. It's just the box, and they're all configured and ready to go. Plug them in. They're ready to go. No username, no password, and you just load them up. So if you want one of those, or you want, or you're interested in a tiny, like I said, just shoot me an email, and we can email back and forth and figure something out. And of course, all of the PCs that I've shown you are also for sale. I don't like shipping them, mainly because I'm worried about shipping more than anything else. I don't want anything damaged, but I can if I have to. If I did ship one, I would remove the graphics card and put it separately. But all you'd have to do is put it in, because I don't want the graphics card damaged in shipping, so I won't put it in the slot because it could damage the slot. It gets banged around, so I'd put it at the top of the case, or find some way to just put it separately, either inside the case and laying down and tape down, but figure out a way. So if you're interested in any of these, you can contact me on them. Most of them are on Facebook Marketplace, but you can ask what I have and I can send you specs and everything. So yeah, I sell these systems, I tune these systems. None have ever come back, knock on wood. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. That's an hour and 12 minutes anyway. I hope the content was good. If you want to see any content, just ask, and I'll try and put that content up on the channel. And we can continue this. I love tech. I've been in tech for a long time. It's not what I do for a living. I actually have a real job. I'm an agronomist by trade. But I've been a tech enthusiast since the mid-'80s. So yeah, I'm old. I'm not young. I'm over 60. I started on the ground floor with tech when it first came out and was first introduced to the public. So it's been a long, long time, and I have a passion for this. I love doing it. It's just like my regular job. I have a passion for that also. But this is kind of my second passion. I really enjoy building. I enjoy tuning systems, getting the maximum performance out of them, and you know, watching people be happy with what I built them, which is good. All my customers are happy; they're pleased with their performance, and I get. Or you can go to Best Buy and buy something there. My systems are a little bit more expensive. I do not deny that, but they weren't put together in a couple hours and then stress tested for an hour, and then here you go, up for sale. These spend weeks with me. I rotate them through. I have 2 benches, one on each side, so I rotate them through, and I continually check their performance and tune them. So when I sell them, they are ready to go. I also build custom systems. If you want a custom system built, I can build one for you, based on your specifications. So anyway, I'm Jim from Tech Loving. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And on a last note, I should say, I do watch a lot of the tech channels. I like watching the tech channels. I'm quick to call them out. I think some of them, the ones I really enjoy, really enjoy, is Brian's Parts Hunt, Tech Yes City. That's so cool. I love that parts hunt. Gamers Nexus, because he's just honest, and he gives his honest opinion. Doesn't beat around the bush. Really like that. I really enjoy Jay's 2 cents. I don't like some of the things he's done or said on his channel, like when he lowballed that guy a few weeks ago on the PC he bought. I thought that was kind of underhanded of him, but I let him know that too. That it was in the comments. Of course, never replies, but what the hell. But I still like his channel. Don't get me wrong. Still like his channel. Hardware Canucks, love that channel. So if you're a tech guy, a tech enthusiast, Hardware Canucks, Tech Yes City, Jay's 2 cents, and Gamers Nexus, excellent. There's a Hardware Canucks. There's another Canadian one out on the West Coast that, yeah, no. The guy that has fumbly hands there, I think his first name is Linus. No, I don't watch that. Not at all. I get nothing out of that channel. Nothing whatsoever. I don't even know how he has so many subscribers. But anyway, that's one I don't like to watch. There's a few others. There's actually a couple of British guys. And no, it's not the two you're thinking of. Oh God. There's one British guy that just has his own computer shop, and it's really good. I can't remember his name, but he does some nice work. I like watching that channel. That's a really good channel. Wish I could remember the name of it. It's ridiculous. I can't remember the name of it. That bugs me when I can't remember names. What else? There's always a few. I don't like what YouTube did to UDF Tech. I mean, man. Yeah, he's taken. They suspended his channel for a week for something that he had on his channel. I'm like, oh, yeah, come on, free speech. I trash people. I trash companies all the time, especially the big companies. Oh yeah, drives. I should talk about drives before I go. Here I am rambling on. Western Digital Blacks. Excellent NVMEs, and well priced. So if you want to buy an NVMe, if you're looking in the market for an NVMe, don't look at these guys. I think they're overpriced for what you get. Western Digital Blacks, they are fantastic. The SN 770, which is the Gen 3 drive, or the 850X, which is Gen 4 drive, excellent drives. The only reason I have issues with this company, right here, is because this is one of those 2 terabyte drives, and I don't know if you remember this, but they had bad firmware. Well, this drive is still in here, brand new, and I was never able to access this drive when I tried to return it. They wanted me to jump through hoops, and yeah, I wasn't interested in jumping through hoops for this company. Ooh. So I trash them as often as I can, because they wouldn't back a known issue with these drives. They know about this issue. They're perfectly aware of it. So they should just be replacing these drives, no questions asked. But they're not. At least not. They didn't replace it in my case. So that's money. Now, I don't like throwing money away. I don't know anybody who does. Maybe the ultra rich, but I'm not ultra rich, so I don't like throwing money away. And when I don't let companies step on me, big, large companies, I call a spade a spade. That's another thing about Sama. I had a bad cooler that basically wasn't showing the screen. They sent me a new one. I had a brand new case that when I took it out of the box, there were scratches on the glass. They sent me a new one. Didn't even ask for the old one back. So, thumbs up to them. RAM, I've sent quite a bit of RAM back. Bad RAM, no questions asked. They send you a new one. Why? Because the RAM has a lifetime warranty. They send you a new one. So, they send you a new kit. I've had no issues with that. The only company I've had issues with is this one right here. This one. That's the only company I've had issues with in returning items. So, anyway, that's about it. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Once again, 1 hour and 19 minutes. I've done a Buildzoid here. Oh, that's another channel you want to watch. if you're interested in overclocking your RAM, watch Buildzoid. He's very good. He's very good. And I get a lot of information off of Buildzoid. So, yeah, watch his channel. If you're interested in overclocking RAM, watch Buildzoid's channel. And so I'm rambling. I'm doing a Buildzoid. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.